Yo guys, welcome back to the next episode. This episode would be one of my final episodes because we almost came to an end, so I'm not really sure if I will just continue to implement new stuff. I mean, obviously, I will do maybe some game optimization in the future, some cleanup, and just maybe improve a couple of functions, just improve overall the whole gaming experience we have here. But this episode, it just consider that as a huge bonus. So you don't really need to follow along because you can have the whole project as a download file. And then you can just check the blueprints for yourself in detail if you want that. And even if you have questions, like any question is going to get answered by me, and every single like project files and all that stuff, content, you can just hit me up on Udemy. And next to getting 24/7 support, of course, you can also get all the stuff I have here. So I will always make sure that you have the latest patched version of what I did here. So as I told you, I have a locker. Okay, so this is basically what you can see here. And you can also see that there's a camera. So this is the lock. And you also can see if I press G, here is a light. So this is just a spotlight. You can see I just have a really small intensity of like between 1 and 2 is enough. And then you have like maybe an attenuation radius between at least 15 to 20, sometimes 25 attenuation radius. In this case, because I just want to highlight items. This is the reason. Because if you don't have that, especially in like a horror game, this is going to look really weird. You cannot see anything, all right? So this is the reason why I just want to make it pop, right? You can see that. And also, it is giving you a hint. So when you enter the room, you can see, oh, this is the pickable item. So I can pick up that stuff here. And at the same time, you also can see here ammunition for the pistol. So you can obtain all those items. So make sure this is the BP master item. So this is the children of those things. So for every item, we have a child blueprint. But I mean, yeah, we did this plenty of times in the previous episodes. So now we can just build our levels. We can build our rooms, we can build maybe a hallway, we can build every single thing. It's pretty amazing. So, but in this safe room, I just wanted to show you how you can set up logic, basically, to have like this small puzzle style game. Because next to a typewriter to save the game, next to the storage to store stuff, combine items, and having a nice inventory, like we have some kind of survival inventory system. So everything is really leaning towards this classic Resident Evil style game. And a nice puzzle must be part of that. So this is what I tried to do yesterday. And I will just show you what I did. I will not show you the code, how to unlock though. You have to figure it out for yourself. So this means that I will probably give you like maybe a document or stuff like that. And I will just maybe put it here, like a document, a small letter, something. And maybe there's some kind of like a small story, some weird stuff you have to encode. And then, yeah, you can basically get a hint what would be the code, the proper code to unlock it, okay? But I will show you functionality, but as I told you before, I will just I will try to avoid showing you the right code because you have to figure it out for yourself. And then I just want to keep you a little busy. That's it. You can see everything is looking nice. It works really smooth. You can turn pretty quick if you want to. Maybe this is too fast. But yeah, everything looks fine. We can access the storage. Okay, I don't have any save game, right? So I could save, potentially. But of course, I'm not doing that. And yeah, and then I can just go here and then boom, you can see there's an animation, okay? So I will just show you in detail. I will try to show you in detail because it's a lot. But as you can see, once we are here, we can basically do something. If I just leave, it's gone. I can just come back here. And then if I press spacebar, I have this new camera and I can now use those arrow keys. I mean, we can also use the A, W, D, and S. If you want to, you can just replace those. But in my case, I just use the arrow up. So this is arrow up. Okay. Then basically I can press right and then down or up, or can just switch to the next one, up, down, and then I can press right again, and then I'm back. So I can basically switch pressing right, and also I can use the left arrow to switch. So up and down is working, and left and right is working, okay? So now I will just unlock the code. So I will just probably make the viewport just pitch black so you can't see the code, because I want to have you to solve the puzzle. So let me think. I almost forgot the code, I believe. Yeah, I think. Yes. Okay, so boom, I unlocked it. And what happened basically is, once you have the right code, then instantly, like automatically, you just lose the input. Then I put a delay of 2 seconds. You cannot do anything because you unlocked it. So why should you keep scrolling the wheel, or like spinning the wheel? So yeah, and then automatically you will just go back to this viewport here, to the gaming viewport. You can then play with the character again, and you can see the door has been opened, and there's something inside. So this is also a point light highlighting something. I can just grab it, and then you can see, oh, what is this? Let me inspect. And then I can see, okay, those are Magnum cartridges. Nice, good. All right, so this is what you can do, and then I'm really happy, and then I can just go here, and I see, when I just go here, for example, you can see, oh, there's something, there's maybe a weapon. What is this? And then I can see, this is the revolver. Nice, okay. And then I can just get this one here, store the bullets and the revolver, and maybe let me just get this, and also let me just get the pistol bullets. Okay, let me store the herb, and now I can save. Now I will have a save game again, so I make sure that you just, when you start, you just delete your save game, okay? And then you can start fresh without loading a save game. Exit. Then I can just go out. Okay, let me just go back in. And you can see, boom, it's gone. So everything we picked up is gone. And you can see also the lock is gone. And I cannot interact anymore. It's gone. So we do have all the logic. Okay. At the same time, I can also just exit the game, because we saved after unlocking, and when I just restart, I see it's also gone, and we cannot interact anymore. Good. What we also can do, but yeah, I think I will not do this here right now, but it's not really hard to do. You can see that still the light, you can see that all those item lights are still here, right? You can see here. You can just destroy those actors, because a light is also just an actor. You can just destroy them. It's pretty simple. It's not really hard to do. And to be honest, you learned already all that logic. So just think for a minute, think logically. It's not really that hard to find the actors in your level, and then you get a reference to those actors, to those specific actors, and then you can just remove actor. It's not really, destroy actor, not remove, destroy actor. Okay, so let me just show you how to do that, okay? So, for the puzzle, if I press G, I have a so-called BP_lock. So, make a new folder. If you just want to follow along, you have a fresh project, or maybe you have a different project and you want to learn how to make a puzzle, just get this lock from my project. You can implement it, build your own lock, maybe have some kind of different style game, maybe some kind of like cubes you have to spin, all that fun stuff. You can just, I will just show you how you basically can do that. Pretty amazing. So, yeah, so just in this case, create a folder called lock. So for us, it would be like so. Of course, when you want to interact with like some kind of puzzle, then you obviously need the mesh. You need the materials, and you have to consider like this. Imagine you have, in this case, you have a lock and you have spinning wheels, right? So this is a 3-digit code. So this means you need a wheel like a code. Of course, you have to texture that, so you have all the numbers on it. And you need them separately, like as separate meshes, because for each wheel needs to be separate. You can just load in one wheel if you want, and then you just duplicate them into your world. And then you have two duplicates, so in total 3 meshes. So you have to spin. And then you can just, then I will just show you what you can do when you place those. But you don't need 3 different, you can just get one and then just duplicate them. The same goes for if you have something like cubes and you have to turn cubes or something, or maybe you have like in Resident Evil, you have like this electrical box and then you have to press some switch stuff and all that. So you can get really creative. So I will just show you how you basically can interact with this, how you can rotate and move stuff. Just at the same time, just focusing like on this puzzle, just have the camera face to the puzzle, and then you can just interact with those things and rotate and move them. So what you need to do, of course, as I told you, mesh and materials, I have a folder. I have also sound effects. So this is also available for you. Those sounds are royalty free, so I just shop them up. It's fine, you can use them. So this is the unlock. This is when you switch the wheel. So you have 3 spinning wheels. I don't know if this is the right name, but spinning wheels. You know what I mean. So this, if you switch them, you have this sound, really tiny sound, and then when you turn the lock, when you turn those things, you have this. Okay, and then you spin all the locks, and then here it's unlocked. Okay. And then you make another folder called a blueprint. You open that one up and you need to prepare 3 blueprints. This is pretty simple. Just prepare them. You don't really need to open them now, but just let's make sure that you have a blueprint here. Blueprint class actor. You need 2, okay? So you need 2 actor BPs. The first one, just call it BP underscore lock. The second one, call it BP underscore lock underscore camera, because this is our BP lock, the box collision, and we have again a camera which is interacting with our collision, just like we have set up in our early stages of this course with our fixed camera system. And then you need a widget blueprint. So right click, user interface, and then widget blueprint. Let's start with the widget blueprint, because this is basically the widget blueprint. Okay, I saved the game, it's unlocked, but when you stay in front of this, then there's like this inspect button, like this inspect symbol, like this eye icon, and it's just fading in and out and fading in and fading out. It looks nice. So this is basically only this WB lock. So widget blueprint lock. Okay. So I will just quickly guide you through. Just open that one first. Okay. So we just take care of the widget blueprint lock. What you need to do is you type in canvas, drag it into the WB underscore lock. This is the canvas panel. Make sure when you load it, you just boom. Scroll, zoom out, and then snap this to 4K, just to be safe. Okay, it's not going to screw up your full HD, like your 1920 by 1080. It's not going to screw it up. It's just making sure that if you are in a 4K resolution, that you have this set up. Okay, so then you type in image. After that, you drag the image into the canvas panel. Then this is a child of the canvas panel. Call this image here inspect. Doesn't need to be a variable, or no, it doesn't need to be a variable, to be honest. But just leave it like so. Just leave it. The image, you have this render icon. Just type in inspect. So if you have my files on Udemy and you download all the full project, you have it. Okay. Just type in inspect and you have this image here. All right. So the image size, I think this is already set up, 512 by 512. What you need to set up is the anchor to the center. So this is the center, okay? And then you need to have the position, or you should, in my opinion, have the position on X 0, position Y 400, size X and Y is 100, alignment is 0.5 and 0.5. And the background, you don't need to change anything, no alpha stuff, because this PNG, as you can see, is already transparent, okay? So this is everything you need to do for the widget blueprint. Pretty simple stuff. So yeah, this is just to make sure when you have this in center, all right, then the position X and Y, you have to zero it out. So the X, zero this out, then it's perfectly in the center. But we don't want to have this here. We want to have this eye symbol. We want to have it here, okay? So when we stand in front of the locker, this one makes sense that this one is here. So now we need to animate this. Open up the animations button here. Then click on the animation plus. Then you will have a new animation. This is empty for you. Then after you click on the new animation, you can just right click and get the inspect, not the canvas, the inspect. When you enable this, you have the inspect, but you don't have the color and opacity. So what you need to do, you go to, once you click on the inspect and click on this inspect image here as well, you can click on this keyframe. Just make sure that this one is white. You click on it and this turns into white. Then you will have this, and you will also have this orange cursor here. Make sure this one is at 0. Once it is at 0, you set the alpha value to 0, which would be completely hidden, okay? Then just make sure that maybe you can use like 1 second. So if you drag this to 1, this is 1 second. And then you can just here click on the alpha value again and just type in 1. This is just how to set up this fade. Okay, you can also see it here in the picture. So this is completely transparent, and then it turns into full, like basically full white in this case, but you will see the whole image. Okay, then, but this is not everything. So if I open up the animation again, so inspect, click on inspect, animations, and if I just toggle here, I just drag, you can see how it's going to look. Okay, so it doesn't really matter where you put the cursor, it doesn't really matter. But what matters is you need to click on this graph, and then you have a so-called event construct. It should already be here for you. You can just drag from there, but I strongly advise you to get this animation. Now you have this animation as a variable, you can just drag and get. Okay, so this one is the new animation. From there you can just play animation. This one, just play animation. This is connected here, and the target is our widget blueprint, so this is fine. Number of loops to play is 0, because 0 means it's infinite. So once we standing in front of the locker, it will just loop infinitely, okay? Play mode, you can have this as forward, but I have ping pong. So this means it's fading in, it's fading out. So it's forward, reverse, okay? So just ping pong. And then playback speed, if you think like this is really slow, you can just increase this to 1.5 or maybe even 1.8 or something. Like just drink something really quick. Now, let's take care of the BP lock camera. Just open that one up. We're just preparing this. Don't need that event graph stuff, because when you want to, oh my god, why isn't it working? Okay, sorry for that. When you want to set up a camera, like you want to switch the viewport because you want to look at something and stuff like that, you want to focus on something, interactable stuff, you just get a blueprint and you can just add a cine camera, right? Like we usually do, just add a cine camera. And then make sure that you have, in this case, this is about taste, but in my case, its manual focus distance is 70 centimeters. So if you increase or decrease, it depends on the distance of your camera facing the item or facing the locker or the shelf or a picture or whatever. Of course, this is dynamic. So make sure that you have this set to manual, because the camera is not going to move during the game, but you have to set up the right focus distance. So this, of course, depends on how far the camera or how close the camera is, on what the camera needs to have the focus on. So you need to play around with those values, okay? So if it's really, really blurry, just increase or decrease the focus distance, and then you can see. If you have really like trouble, you can also just minimize this, like so. I already clicked on the camera, and then I can just get the focus distance and see what happens. Boom, now it's gone. Now it's out of focus. So maybe when I just go, okay, maybe 85, okay, yeah, this is a little better, and then it's like 75, oh, this is nice, oh, this is perfectly fine, oh my god, yeah, awesome. So let me just leave it at 70. Maybe 65, 70. Just, yeah, 70 is fine. Okay, 70. Good. And if I just maximize that, you can also get the current, how is it called? Aperture, like this one here. I just increased this from, I believe, 2.8 to 3.2. This is just to make the bokeh, how is it called? Bokeh, like this focus, blurry background stuff, that you can just weaken it so that the focus is not really like so aggressive. Because with a focus distance of 70 centimeters, it can be really aggressive. All right. So this is the reason why I just increase the aperture. Okay. And yeah, then the focus is not really that sensitive. All right. This is everything you need to do for the BP lock camera. And then you can, did I forget something? No. Then you can close that. Let me just quickly see if I have a tag. No, this camera doesn't have a tag. Okay. So now what you need to do, we need to open up the BP lock. Now we take care of this one. You open up the BP lock and now you're freaking out because this is the whole logic. Okay. Yes, I know it's a tedious process again, but before we dive into that, I have several variables I picked up, or I created, I should say. First things first, I created 5 static mesh actor variables. Just click on the plus and search for static mesh actor. And this is the object reference, okay? And you have 5 variables of that. You call this one wheel left, wheel center, wheel right. So this is what you basically need. So the left wheel, so this is like the code, what you spin. And you need to have them separate. So wheel left, center, right, and then you have a lock. This is the static mesh actor, like the whole body of the lock. So yeah, you get what I'm trying to tell you. Like the whole lock in itself. And you have the lock hanger, which is basically this one here. This is like, I just called this one hanger. I don't care. I have no idea. So this is what you need to have. And then I just changed the category from default to lock. And then I just put all those things into the lock. So I know that the whole mesh is inside the lock category. Then you need another static mesh actor. But this is not really part of this mesh or of those meshes. And this is called active wheel. We need, this is like behaving like the current weapon variable. So once we switch, we press left or right, we switch to the next spinning wheel. And then the active wheel needs to change, right? So the static mesh actor reference needs to get an update every time we switch. This is just basically what we need to know for every single like navigation. So just prepare this as well. All right, this is just preparation. Then you need the WB lock. Just search for WB lock. This is the widget blueprint we just created, and just call it like so. Then you need the BP lock camera. This is also something you created. This one. Okay, so you need both. Sorry, this one, this and this. All right. So search for the BP lock camera and call it lock camera. And the camera, this is pretty important. Make this one instance is editable. Click on this. Instance is editable. Also, for every single mesh inside the lock category, wheel left, wheel center, wheel right, lock, and hanger, you need to enable all those instances. Okay? You need to make them editable. Pretty important. And I will just show you in a second why. Then just get the BP RE character, just create a new variable, search for your character blueprint. Same stuff we do every single time. Just call it yeah, you know what I mean. Character, player ref, stuff like that. Then you need a boolean, pretty simple, and call this one locker unlocked. Because during the game, we need to know if this one has already been unlocked or not. Makes sense. And then get a static mesh actor again. And this is the locker door. This is basically this thing here. This door. This is the static mesh actor as well. Okay? Because we need to rotate this once we unlock. We need to open that one. And also, I just completely deleted this door. So I just clicked on the door and just deleted that. And I also deleted it in my content. And I completely re-imported from my Blender file. I just completely re-imported this door and just placed it here as accurately as possible. The reason why I had to do it, so you don't need to in this case, if you just get my project here, as I told you, you can get it on Udemy. then you can see that gizmo here, or like this origin, is perfectly, like, I just completely changed its gizmo, or call it pivot. I just completely snapped it to the center of this line. The reason for doing that is then we can just rotate, like we can just perfectly open that without completely screwing up the position. So this is always the reason why you need, inside Blender or Maya or 3ds Max, you need to change the pivot point, okay? And also I did that here for this lock. As you can see, this is perfectly in the center, and then I just duplicated those, okay? And you can see each one is completely in the center. This means you have to consider like this. I was thinking to myself, if a lock is always, when we spin it, it's always 360 degrees, right? We spin it, for example, we spin it 90 degrees, and we know this is like 25%, okay? So, but then I realized, okay, wait, a lock is basically, has 10 digits, right? 0 till 9, so this is 10 digits. And then I was like, oh, okay, so if this is 360 degrees, a full spin, and I need 10, like 10 surfaces on that, right? So you can also see that I just have those surfaces. So this is a little flat, this is a little flat. You can see I just modeled it accordingly. And this means that if I spin it 36 degrees, every time I press up or down, it will spin 36 degrees. Okay? If I press up, it will spin minus 36 degrees, so it spins up. If I press down, it will spin plus 36 degrees, it will spin down. And we can repeat this infinite times. Okay? And then it's every time it's perfect, because it will not change, it will not shift, it will just stay in its place, and we can just spin it infinite amount of times. So just for you to understand. So if this gizmo or this pivot is maybe here in the center of the whole lock, if we just spin it, the whole mesh will just completely change its location. Okay, so this is the reason why you need to have those things you interact with. You need to load them separately and have the gizmo or the pivot point perfectly in the center. All right, so makes sense. Now I explain to you how I interact with this lock, basically. But before I explain to you in detail, you need the locker door, I told you. But you also need the BP camera. So this is the regular camera. We already did set this one up in the 2nd or 3rd episode. So BP camera. And also this is instances editable, and the locker door is instances editable. So you have this one, the lock camera is instances editable, and all lock meshes. Okay? And this is it for the variables. Now I can explain to you the stuff we have here. So the thing is, if I click on this locker box collision, so the BP lock, this is the blueprint lock, okay? Then you realize at the right side here, there are many, many things we can just pick with this pick actor from scene. This is because we set instances editable. So once you click on this instances editable, you have the opportunity to click on this pick actor from scene. So in this case, this is the BP lock camera, right? This one. So I can just click on my BP lock collision here, click on this eyedropper or pick actor, and just choose the right actor, which is the BP lock camera. And I do this for every single thing. So now you have the locker door, you click on this pick actor, and you click on the locker door, okay? Then you have the BP camera. So why do we also have the BP camera, like our regular camera? It's because when we unlock, we want to go back. So we need to have a reference to our default camera. And our default camera would be, when we go here, our camera is this one, right? Remember, this is our default camera. This is also the default starting camera for our safe room. So when we just enter the room, this is also just the default camera, okay? This is the reason we need to have a reference to that. So just click on this collision, and then just click on this pick actor, and then boom, click on this. And then this is valid. And you just repeat all those things for every single mesh here. So click on this pick actor, wheel left is, in this case, the wheel left. wheel center, click on this. This is the wheel center, click on this, and this is the wheel right. And then you have the lock, click on this. This is the lock, the whole lock, the body. And then we have the lock hanger, click on this, and you click on this lock hanger. So now you're asking yourself, like, yeah, why do you have so many meshes, like also the lock and stuff? We need to have a reference to the whole stuff, to the whole lock, because when we unlocked it, we destroy the static mesh components. Okay, so these are all components, and we will all just destroy it once we unlocked successfully. This is basically just the reason. Good, and now I can explain to you those blueprints, okay? So let me just drink something again. Okay, I'm back. Now, so just get a event begin play. From there, get a delay of approximately 0.3. Get the player character, cast to your BPR character, right click, promote to variable. I told you before, create, sorry for that. I told you create this one. Then you can you don't need to promote this one to a variable then, okay? You don't need to, because you already prepared this. You can just set, okay? So it doesn't make any difference. You can just promote this from here, and then you will have it. Or if you just prepared that, you can just set. Make sure it's connected. Also, from there, so it could be either from here or it could either be from here. It doesn't make any difference. You get the AC. From there, you get a boolean called lock destroyed. So go inside your AC inventory and create a lock destroyed boolean. Okay? I know most of you guys, you already know what to do, but just for the sake of it, let me just open up the AC. So just go into your AC and get a boolean called, I just forgot that, lock destroyed, this one. When you're already here, just prepare also a boolean called locker unlocked, and also prepare inside your AC the use lock boolean, so you have 3 booleans, and prepare the WB lock, which is the widget blueprint lock, so search for that. And the BP camera is already here. I think you already have the BP camera. I think you already have it. Good. This is it for the AC. Now, if the lock is destroyed, we have a macro, okay? So just click on the macro plus and call it destroy lock. If you open this macro, this is empty, right? But what you can do, just prepare it like so, you can just get all your 5 static mesh components, not components, static mesh actors, sorry. I did tell you like components in the, I think the previous statement. Just forget what I'm telling you. It's a static mesh actor, not a component. Sorry for that. It's a big difference. So just get the wheels and lock hanger. So you have all those things, and then you can, from there, you can just destroy actor, and you can connect them all at the same time, which is good. Then you get the character. You know that the character is valid. Why is the character valid? Because on event begin play, we cast. This means our character here, our character variable is valid once we begin play. So this is perfect. Now, you get the character from there, AC inventory. Then from there, get in is valid, question mark. You get this one. If it's valid, only if it's valid, set the lock destroyed from your AC, so here, and set lock destroyed to true. This is it. Then we continue. Get, when you click on the box and scroll down here on the right hand side. Oh my god. You click on component begin overlap and you click on component end overlap. But this is old news. You know this already, how to do that. On begin and on end, you just cast, make sure that you have a reference to your character here, and you also get the AC in both cases. When we begin overlap, from the AC, you get the locker unlocked boolean you just created a couple of seconds ago. So from the character here, get AC, and from the AC, get locker unlocked boolean. If this is false, you set from the AC inventory, you set the use lock boolean. So just set use lock, right? You set it from the AC. And if it's false, it's true. Then after that, you create a widget. So just create widget. This is it. Choose the WB lock. Okay? Choose the WB lock. Then compile and save. Pretty important. this one, you have this already. You can promote to variable, but we don't need because we have it already here. So just like we did before, just drag and set. Put it here and just connect it, okay? Like so. Just connect it. Then we also want to have a reference to our AC inventory. So from the AC inventory, just here from here, drag out and set WB lock. So this is also the variable we did set up here. I just told you. And then this variable, you just connect this one as well. This just is going to make sure that this WB lock variable is just valid as well, because we need it. From there, just here, drag and add to viewport. Okay, just add to viewport. Finally, we enable the input. If you can't find the node, get the player controller. So just get player controller here. And you also have to hook this one up into the create WB lock widget. Okay, so the player controller is also connected here. And at the same time, it is also the player controller. It's not the target. The player controller is the player controller. So you have to switch them up. Okay. Then we continue. On end overlap, you don't need a character variable. Okay, so I just left this aside. You can just have this. But from the AC, set this boolean, or just get this and copy this and connect this one to the AC, and this is false. Then get the WB lock again, right? And from here, find an is valid as well. Is valid question mark. If it's valid, we remove from parent. So what are we going to remove? This one, the WB lock. Because when we're not overlap anymore, we don't want to see the inspection animation. This is basically the reason. Now, when we stand in front of this thing, so once we overlap, we do know that this use lock boolean is true. Okay? And this is the set boolean from our AC. You can see here. Boom, it's the AC boolean. Now we can navigate when this is true. So on begin overlap, it is always true. Then we just make a check. You get the character, from the character you get the AC, then you get the use lock, and then you get a branch. If this use lock is true, only then we can interact. So only then you get the BP lock camera, and from there set view target with blend and disable context sensitive. You need this node. And the new target is the BP lock camera. The player controller is the target. All right. Then from there, you just disable input. The character is the target and the player controller is the player controller. Okay. This one is here. And the character is here. Good. After that, disabling, we want to remove from parent the WB lock. So just get the WB lock and just remove from parent. Because when we press spacebar, all right, this is the event spacebar, why should we still have the inspection blueprint? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so then from your character, you also get actor location. All right, get actor location. From there, you can just press plus and you get the add operator. The add operator, just type in on the y-axis plus 100 units. Then from there, you can just, from here, set actor location. You can't find it. You need to disable the context sensitive and then you set actor location. If you have trouble connecting this, you can just, in this case, it's fine. You don't need to do that. But sometimes when you have trouble connecting things, you can just right click and split. There's something called split struct pin. And then it's better for you to connect. Or sometimes it's impossible for you to connect, so you have to split the struct pin. Then, after that, you get this so-called active wheel and set it, which is empty. Okay? But now it's not empty, because once we overact, we get the wheel left. And we set this wheel left, and now the wheel left is the active wheel. Because when we interact with spacebar, just right away, we want to make sure that our left wheel is active. So the wheel we can spin. All right, so we start with the left wheel, it makes sense. Now, you get the up, down, left, and right. So what you need to do is search for keyboard left, and then keyboard up, and keyboard right, and keyboard down. Okay, so you get those keyboard events. For up, just make a screenshot because there's a lot of talking and yeah. So the active wheel, you just get the active wheel. From there, just get actor rotation, not location. We just want to rotate those wheels. Okay, the location is the same. We just want to spin, and the spin is only on the x-axis. So if you're not seeing this, just right-click and split struct pin. Then you will have x, y, and z because we split the vector. So only the x you just drag from here and get plus. Okay, you get this operator, this one. And when we press up, we need to spin minus 36 degrees on the x. The y and z, we don't do anything. We just spin on its x-axis. When you have all that, set the actor rotation and just connect the x to x. So from here, of course, to here. And then straight the y, you can just connect this one straight, like right away. And then we want to play a sound. Every time we spin, we have this. Okay? Then click on the plus and you need an unlock code. Get this one, okay? This is empty for you. Just open that one up. And make sure that you have an input. So in this case, you have just one execute input. And you also need an output as an execute. Okay, so just make sure that you have this. What you need to do is you get the wheel left, you get the wheel center, you get the wheel right. And you just get the actor rotation for every single thing. And the puzzle is, you need to have those values. So if you consider that the wheels, they have the initial rotation of 0, right? But once we spin it, for example, you spin it 4 times, this would be 144 degrees, okay? If you spin it 2 times, this would be then changed to 72 degrees. If you don't spin it at all, this would be 0, okay? But don't think like, now I have the code. No, you don't have it, because you still have to, you will not have the code. You need to find it out. So this is what you need to prepare. So on the X, you just type in equal, okay, just equal, and this is then the node. You have 3 checks, 3 booleans. Just get an AND boolean. Just type in AND boolean, this one. And then you can click on the plus. You need 3 inputs, and only when those are exactly like so at the same time, only then we unlock. So only then we continue. Then we have a sound, unlock. Then we get the player controller, prepare this. After that, the boolean locker unlocked is set. So from here, just set locker unlocked. But actually, we don't really need that. What's really important is that you get the character here. Then you get the AC. From there, you set locker unlocked. This is pretty important. Okay? Context sensitive. Enable this. Oh my god. Set locker unlocked. Oh, so no. Yeah. Locker yeah, I don't know why he's not finding that. So set locker unlocked. Okay. And this one, which is here, you just connect this. This is just to transfer this yes or no into our AC. Then from the player controller, you just disable the input. And the input is player controller, and the target stays, it is being self, okay? So we just disable the navigation inside here, because we are done. We're done with the lock. We don't need to navigate anymore. And then make sure that you get this output. So the output is basically here floating around. Just look for that. And when you click on that, you can make sure that you have at least one output here. Yeah, you need only one output, which is the execute. Okay. I'm always trying to say like executive or something, but it's execute. So yeah, then we can close that. After that, you just get a delay. Okay, just get a simple delay of 2 seconds. Because once we're unlocked and we don't have any enabling keyboard, like how you call it, your keyboard is disabled once you're unlocked. You have like basically 2 seconds of just like staring at the lock, just to have like a small delay. So then you cannot really like spin, you cannot keep spinning the numbers even when it's unlocked. It doesn't make any sense. So this is why I just disabled the input after you successfully unlocked, like after you successfully used the code. And then we just set up a small delay. Okay? I think it's just more smooth. And then you need to create 3 functions. Okay? Let's just prepare those 3 functions. Click on plus 3 times. The first one is called switch back to game, so F, switch back to game. The second one is called F, open locker door. And last but not least, F, spawn magnum ammo, because this is the treasure we have inside. And we spawn it, of course, only when we unlock. Okay? Otherwise, you maybe have the chance to still collide with the magnum bullets and pick it up right away. And this is not really nice. So we want to avoid bugs, and this is why we are good game developers and we're thinking logically, and this is why we have this function. So we only spawn this item when we solved the puzzle. When you open up the first one here, the first function, switch back to game, you get the player controller, you get the character. The character is the target of enable input, controller is the player controller. Enable input, you also get the BP camera, this one, not the lock, the BP camera, because we want to switch back to our default camera. You get this as well. From there, set view target with blend. Okay? Set view target with blend. If you can't find it, make sure the context sensitive is disabled. Then you will find it. The camera is the new target, and the target here is the character. This is everything you need to have. Then, from there, you set actor location. The actor location, you will get this from dragging off of the character, then search for get actor location, then from here, just type in plus again, get add. And this time, you remember we did on y-axis 100 units, and now we want to spawn back to its original position. So this means we set this one to minus 100 units. So we just teleport it back. So from where we did start in the first place. And from there, you can just get the new location into the set actor rotation. So now our character here as a target has now an updated actor location. Sweet. Then let's just leave. And then we go to F, open locker door. Here, same stuff. But this time you just get the locker door static mesh actor. From there, get actor rotation. All right, this is rotation because we want to rotate the locker door. And then you just get the Z axis. From there, just plus, so add. In this case, 120 is nice. So then it's opening, like you still have enough space. It's fine. Good. This one, from here, just drag and set actor rotation, okay? Again, if you can't find it, disable this, and then you get the set actor rotation. The thing is here, if you get this, now you're confused. I told you before, if you can't connect the vector, this is a rotator. So right click, split, okay? This is basically what you need to do. And then you can just hook it up. Also the locker door is the target. And from there, just play a sound. So we're opening the door and we have a sound. Now the last function for this interact. Is it interact? No, it's the event up. So we want to spawn. This is just one simple note. From here, just spawn actor from class. Just this one. And then choose any item you want. So BP item, and then you have all the items we have. We did set up. So maybe you want to spawn a red herb or maybe a hammer. Doesn't really matter. But what you need to do in order to have this spawn inside our locker, so what I did is, it's pretty simple. You can go from lit to unlit. And then what you can do, you can just get an item. So let me just get this green herb. What you can do, you can just put it here, just as a reference. So obviously this is quite big, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, who is going to put a herb item inside here? But maybe some people do. And then you can just put it here and make sure that maybe the height, everything is correct. So this is why I'm using unlit. So just like so. Now what you can do, you get those location values. You can just open up the text editor or something, just save those location values because you need them. Now you can delete this because we want to spawn inside. This means now you can just override those values with the location values I just showed you before. And then it will spawn exactly in this place. You can also rotate on the z-axis. Just make it like maybe minus 30 degrees or maybe plus 20 degrees. Just maybe have like a small rotation if you want on the z-axis, of course. Otherwise, it's not going to make sense. All right, so then this whole logic is done. So this is when we scroll up with our lock wheel. We can just copy this from our up event. So copy everything, Control C, and just paste it inside the next event when we press down. So the only thing what is going to change is, instead of being minus 36, we make it positive 36. So when we scroll down, so when we spin it down, it's positive 360. Okay? 36, I should say. Then you don't need to change anything. It's the same stuff, okay? The only thing you need to change is, of course, the direction, because either we spin up or we spin down. Doesn't make any sense if you have the same spin movement. So yeah, then the last event for left and right, you need to get the active wheel. So here the active wheel is pretty important. This is where we use it a lot. So initially I told you once we enter, the left wheel is always the default active wheel, because we start with the left wheel, it makes sense. But now, once we press left or right, we always switch from left to center, from center to left, maybe from left to right, from right to center, maybe from center to right. So we always can switch, pressing left or right. So I was like thinking and brainstorming, and then it really didn't work out, but I found a good way how to make it work. Before you do this left and right event, you click on the spinning wheel. Let me just delete it because it looks silly. So click on the first one, the wheel left. You have it here. And you can just search for tag. Just click on the plus and call it left. Then you do this for right, call this tag right. And for center, call this one tag center. Pretty simple stuff. And then just save. Because when the active wheel, just drag from here and you can just search for actor has tag. So the active wheel is checking basically like yay or nay if this is left. So if the active wheel has a tag called left, it must be, of course, the left wheel. And we check that. If it's true, the wheel right now is suddenly the active wheel. Why? Because if we press left, but we are already on the left wheel and we just keep pressing left, we switch to the right wheel. Makes sense. Okay? If this is not left, we do another check. Maybe it's right, so maybe we are currently on the right wheel, which is the active wheel. And if this is true, so when we press left, but we are currently on the right wheel, we need to be in the center wheel. So if it's true, wheel center is active wheel. And if it's false, so neither it would be left and neither it would be right, it can only be center. So if it's center and we press left, guess, active wheel is the wheel left. Amazing. And then just copy all those things except for the custom event, not the custom, like the button event, but just copy the whole logic and put it to inside the right event. So here we need to switch something up. This stays the same, but this one here is the wheel right on left, but this now is becoming the wheel center. And when we have this event left, the wheel center is here at the end, is true. But this time, this would be the wheel left, and false would be the wheel right. So we just switched everything up. Okay? And this is it. Now, congratulations, you have everything for this puzzle. Okay? So now you will be able to go here, save games, let me just delete the file, and then boom, and we are here. So nothing has been saved. We cannot load a save, but we can just boom, we can see the animation, so we can press the spacebar. We have a new camera angle, and then I will just skip this part or just blur this one out so you cannot see. And boom, we can just completely like navigate without any issues. And then this is open and boom, it's gone. Okay. So this is basically everything. Let me just re-evaluate just in case if I forgot something. But so far I did explain to you every single thing, right? Let me see. Do I have something I didn't tell you? tag. No. Oh, there is one thing I need to tell you, but you know how to do that. I just need to tell you basically. But yeah, this is the whole puzzle. And now you can also just get a point light, maybe from here, lights, and then just point light. And then you can just make it like a really small intensity of like maybe 1 or 1.5, small attenuation, a smaller source radius. Soft source radius always like between 8 and 15 is good, or maybe 10 between 10 and 20. And then you can just really carefully don't do something like this. This is ugly, but also don't do something like this. Just like so, a tiny amount. Okay. So maybe this is already too much. Like so. This looks much better. Good. But if you don't like it, you can also just maybe boom, do like so. Good. Yes. So what you need to do is we need to know if you open up the game instance, and at the same time you also open up the save game, BP save game. What I did add is the boolean lock destroyed and the boolean locker unlocked. And the game's instance also locker destroyed and locker unlocked. You need to have those booleans. They need to get saved, and when you transition, they get lost. The data gets lost. They need to be saved every single time we transition or restart. They need to be saved. So just make sure game instance and BP save game has those two booleans, and then you can just go into the AC event graph. So you have to change a lot of variables. No, not change, just add. So first thing, load to game instance means we set the lock destroyed and locker unlocked. So we set those, and from our AC we get those. Okay? And then just hook it up like so. This is what you need to do for both booleans. So load to game instance. Then when you save, you do set lock destroyed and set locker unlocked. And then from the AC, you also get the right one and you hook it up. Okay. So you just enhance, you just add those things. Then the third event is load to save game. This time, this has been saved because we load. So this time from our BP save game, we can just get locker unlocked. Okay. And we also can get lock destroyed. And then from the AC, we can set and just connect this one here and then like so. Okay. So now you have to do it for this event, and for this event. But we are not even done yet. You need to go to your player BP. Let me just delete this because I was checking this previously. But you need to go to the event begin play. So you have it like so. I explained to you already. Inside the load to character. So when we transition from room to room, you also need, because we load to character, this means we get from the game instance the locker unlocked. This time we get it. And then also here we just set the right one, the right boolean. And we just connect them both and you hook them up. Then this is it for this function. And also, sorry for that, I forgot to tell you. Inside the load save game, here, you need to go into the macro as well. And from here, this is the save game. Also get locker unlocked. And the other one called lock destroyed. You need to get them, put them down here. So you can put them down here and you can see them here. And then also just from the AC set and set. And no, sorry, no, don't do that. Here from the game instance, you need to set. So what we do, we just load from our save game object, then we cast to our game instance, and then we get our data from our save game and set the lock destroyed or set locker unlocked. And you can then just hook it up. Okay, so this is what I did here. You can see they are both connected. And those variables are from our pp game instance. Okay? Set variables. So yeah, a lot of stuff to do. So just remember that you have to add those things to this event, load to game instance, then to save game, you have to update this, then the load save game, and behind the load save game, you have also this one, where you need from here, need to get the new variable and connect this get variable with the game instance from here, set variable. Okay, and then I told you before, load to character. Inside your character, you have also this function, load to character. Here, you get from the game instance, and from your AC, you set the variable and connect them as well. So basically, you have to do this 5 times in total, just to add those. Good. And then I explained to you every single thing. And yeah, this is basically it. Let me just show you again. Get the revolver. So I have the revolver here. Then I can just pick up this one. All right. Then I can pick up a pistol ammo. And then let me just store a couple of things. So this one. Then let's get the lock. I can just interact with this. And then, boom, it's unlocked. Door is being opened, and then we can also get the treasure here, which is this one. And then we can store, and we can save. And when we exit, we can exit the game. Boom, we're here. And the lock is gone. Okay? This also works when we just transition, when we just leave the room. Also, then the lock is not spawning again. It's just... Alright, so this is it. Yeah, this is basically like the safe room, and it's pretty awesome because we can do a lot of stuff, right? We can just put everything inside here. Or you can just access that, just give me the revolver, and we can just equip it, and also we can reload. And when we just save, we can leave, we can continue, or we leave the game completely, restart the game. Now we are here where we saved last time, and you can see this is updated and saved. And then we can just store, can switch the weapon. So let me re-equip the pistol, store this, and we can, or this is what we already did. We unlocked the locker. Yeah, this is it. Thanks for watching.